in one of them walls, we found. Okay, I didn't know we was live. Yeah,
Surprise.
yeah. So, but
Okay.
I'll let that story go. It ain't appropriate for tonight. Cribbage, really? Cabbage. Hell yeah, I'll eat the hell out of some cabbage. Preferably fried with onions and a little bit of fat back in it.
Oh yeah. I just had some. You got to get
Don't have
the.
to worry about the varmints coming around the house.
Yeah, I got the
Oh,
Tony's, that Cajun mix, and sprinkled it on there. Oh, that's good stuff. And
got a good kick to it.
it's always better for the leftovers after you heat it up, if there is leftovers.
I like putting a little bit of red pepper flakes in it.
Yeah.
I like it right there. It's like what Forrest Gump says: you never know what you're gonna get in each fork.
Yeah. If I
Lively
can find
pepper. Hello, lady.
some cheap
How you-
bacon, well, not cheap, but some bacon that doesn't is not going to cost me $20. I want to make some
Okay.
hot pepper or bacon hot pepper jam. I think it's called. Yeah, hot pepper bacon jam. Oh, that stuff is so good. You spread that on a burger or a hot dog. Oh,
Now, hello, Miss Lake. Now, does it have a kick to it, or is it fire?
well, it depends. If you put, if you take the seeds and everything out of the jalapenos, so that's usually
Right.
what you use as jalapenos.
Okay. But
You what you do, you fry you chop the bacon up and you start frying it up, and you put onions and garlic in there, and then once that's done, you take out the bacon and stuff and leave the the oil in there, and then you start cooking up your peppers and stuff like that, and you put sugar and all that stuff in there until it renders down, and then you can that stuff, and it's all that's so good.
you gonna have to make a video on that.
Bacon's so expensive.
But look, if you get the thick slices, it's about $10 in that ballpark. Okay,
And a little bit
I
more up
get it.
here.
I get guacamole. It comes in a red pack, which is pretty good. Okay, it's about two, maybe $3 a full pack. Hello, wildlife.
Hey, well,
Good evening, huh?
But you know, it ain't bad, not really. Now the wife last month she found some bacon we ain't never tried, never heard of, and it was like two for $5. So she said, "What the hey?" It
yeah,
was.
that's not bad at all.
No, I want to say it was hickory smoked.
It might have been the same thing because I got five for. Hey, sell down, you guys. I don't. It was cheap. It was like a couple dollars, $2.50, $3 for a 12 ounce. It wasn't a
Yeah.
pound.
Oh hell no! You don't get a pound no more.
No,
But and I got to admit, it was pretty doggone good, and I've never seen it again. I want to say it was in a white package. Now I may be wrong with that.
yeah, I did see a picture of somebody else. They made some jalapeno poppers. I don't know
It,
where I seen that
Seems to
damn
be
sure
trending.
wasn't.
at. You know, Wildlife was showing his dinner one night. I think it was a dinner.
I
Yeah,
love
man.
jalapeno
Man,
poppers.
those things turned out better than I expected. Those were really good.
How do you make your jalapeno poppers?
Well, I don't, something like that. I love them, but I don't make them enough to stick to a certain plan. It's just each time I make them, it changes a little bit, just depending on what I have around. Um, I just happened to have some bacon that day, so I bacon wrapped them. I
Yeah.
happened to chop up some herbs from the garden and put in there, so it just kind of depends. But usually I mix my herbs or seasonings with my cream cheese and put it in there. And if I have bacon, I'll try to bacon wrap them. If not, then I don't worry about it.
Well, now the last one I made, and it had cream cheese, cheddar cheese, and it was some other stuff that went with it. That
Yeah.
was some of the best that I've had, and I cannot find the recipe for that no more.
The best stuff, the best when it turns out really good. You sit there. Oh, how much of that did I put in there?
Yeah,
What did I put in that?
Yeah.
And then you can't duplicate it because you was just flopping stuff in there.
exactly.
What my mom used to call to get throw together meals.
Yeah.
But you got to admit, them are the best meals around. The ones you just throw together like that.
Yeah.
And it took me a couple of years, but I made a chili, hot dog chili recipe. And hey, dude, it was off the hook. It really was.
Yeah. I seen
And
somebody making chili for chili dogs,
yeah,
and really weird. They didn't fry it up, the ground beef. They put it in a pot with water
that's
and
how I make mine.
and it was the
Hmm.
weirdest thing I ever seen. But and they had 3-4 other people copy it to see how it turned out, and they said, "Wow, this is the best chili I've ever
Yeah.
had."
Hmm.
But what it is the water with the hot dog as you're cooking it. I, I want to say it makes it real tender and so forth like that. It don't have the same taste as it would if you was to have fried it up. It's got a better taste to it. It don't sound like it, but it does. Or better yet, you can put not water, but
Chicken broth.
yes,
Oh
chicken
yeah.
broth.
Yeah,
Mhm.
which I think that's what they did anyway, but they didn't show that part. But I want to say hello to everybody. We kind of skipped over that when we first started up. um, and before we get started, this is not technically, Independence Day, but I try to remember those people from our soldiers from Afghanistan that were pretty much left to their own. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this little clip. It's only a few seconds long. And it's a shame that oh, we got a
Well, you wasn't kidding when you said it was a few seconds.
well, it's you got something playing here, Jeff.
Is that me?
I got what? No,
That's you.
yeah, I'm lost. What happened?
I don't know.
Okay, okay. Should we start over? No.
Huh.
I think I know what happened.
I'm here. I'm just listening.
Yeah, you got the echo, Jeff.
No, it ain't an echo. The wife's in there listening to TV.
Well, it's actually louder than you.
Because I have nothing else playing in the background. Nothing. That's the only thing that's playing.
I think it fixed itself.
Echo, echo, echo.
Testing. See, it's only Jeff.
Testing.
Yeah.
I think I know what happened. He realized it was National Eat Beans Day, and he got a little excited.
Oh, that was last night.
Okay. Yeah, you still got the echo, Jeff.
Try it.
What? It's only echo from us, not from you.
Well, then how can I have the echo if it's not coming from me?
Whenever we talk, we hear it through you.
How in the hell is that possible?
Here, let's try this. Yeah, it's still there.
Let me back down and come back up and see if that helps. Oh, well. See ya!
Ain't no telling.
Yeah, I don't know if he had his TV on or something, maybe. I don't know. Oh. Yeah, the reason I do that is like I bet you asked Potato who were the 13 that died in Afghanistan from that little whatever you want to call it, the pullout of Afghanistan.
Shoot, he couldn't tell you the 13 original colonies.
Yeah, I don't, probably not. And it's just another way to remember them. I think Jeff might have got lost.
Started thinking about beans again and got sidetracked.
There we go. He changed his name.
Uh-huh. All right, any better?
It's still there.
Ain't nothing I can do about it.
You ain't got no tab or anything open?
No, not at all.
Well,
I'm going back checking.
It's gone now. What'd you do?
Nothing.
Oh well.
Gremlin.
All right, I'm looking.
Well, don't mess with anything. It's gone now. Because you go messing with it.
The only thing I changed was ass wipe.
That's what it was.
Dang it, Jeff. We're supposed to remember no cussing for 15 minutes. But anyways, let's talk about Independence Day. I mean,
I can't say nothing for 15 minutes.
it's already 15 minutes now. But I wanted to go with chat too. Your fond memories of Independence Day, because I remember it used to be. I mean, it used to be more popular than New Year's Day and it used to be blown out celebrations and stuff like that. And you were celebrating it for a reason. It wasn't just because it was another day to have a barbecue.
No, it was another day to get out of school.
Well, you shouldn't be going to school unless you're in Vegas where it's all year school.
He was going to summer school.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. I've been to summer school a few times.
But it was a community thing, you know. Even when I was a kid, which wasn't too long ago, you know, 4th of July came up. It was a reason for people to get together. You'd have a cookout, of course, which that's always a plus, but it would bring people together. You would, you know, have good memories, have good times.
You're right. You really are. And on top of that, you know, you meet up at the pond, you do some fishing. And I don't know about where y'all live at, but tomorrow on the 4th here in North Carolina, you can go fishing and do not have to have no fishing license.
I think that's pretty well. They have, I don't know if it's on the 4th, but they have a free fishing day.
Okay. B. Charman also said something I had forgotten about. We had parades back in the day also.
Yeah. Oops. Oh, there it is. Yeah. And for those who live in cities and stuff, blocking off the ends of the block in to where cars can't go through, and you have block parties.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys know what those are.
Well, believe it or not, I know what they are, but we didn't have them like that. We just, you know, had them in somebody's backyard or maybe 2 backyards.
Yeah. Or like you said, go down to the river or the lake or something, have
A get
a
together.
celebration.
But you know, the 4th and family reunions, you want to talk about some good food, you ain't going to get no better than to have a family get together, you know, regardless of what it is. And you know, the families are trying to outcook one another. That's the reason you get your best food.
Yeah. We were doing something today, and a question come up. What's your favorite smell?
Oh,
and I said barbecue. Because I mean, that's hard. That's hard to top. A good barbecue smell. Oh,
yeah. Wait a minute. I got one a little bit better than that. You go past one table, smell barbecue. Go to the next table, smell cheesecake. Damn.
Hey, I'm with you on that one. Yeah, I think a lot of the memories that we go back to as a child or younger, it always smell, you know, especially a food or something, it could trigger so many memories.
You know, years ago, I would have thought that was BS. But here, as I'm getting older, I agree with you 100%. You know, a smell can set off a memory like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, yeah.
Grace, y'all having fireworks where you at?
New York?
New York? Oh, damn, that's right. She is in New York.
Yeah. She'll probably go to the big one, won't you, Grace, in New York City? Well,
wouldn't that be around Times Square?
Well, you don't have to go to Times Square.
Well.
Yeah.
Lily says grilled ribs. I'll go as long as they have barbecue sauce on them.
Well, the best ribs is you don't cook them in barbecue sauce. You dry rub them.
Oh yeah.
And then the last bit, you put that barbecue sauce on there.
That don't make no difference. You know, I got mittens, I got tongs. Let them turn their back and they're gonna be missing one or two.
I like it to be so good, I don't even need to think about sauce.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Well, y- in Carolinas is
They're big on
the sweet
barbecue.
vinegar,
Yeah.
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah. Um,
Well, now ain't it out? Oh hell, mustard base. I know it's out in the Midwest, but I can't think of the name of the state.
hey
Kansas?
Eric.
Where
Is it Kansas?
it may be. No, it was another one.
Well,
One's got the golden
mustard's
hearts.
mustard
St.
is a
Louis.
Yeah,
binder. You spread mustard on there, which I don't like mustard, but
I ain't
uh,
crazy about it.
uh, and then you dry rub it for ribs. Well, you can do it on other things too, but um, you smear it all over. Then you put your dry rub. That way, it sticks to the meat.
Yeah. Well, now, like B. Charman just said, if you're going to use barbecue sauce, cook it until it's sticky.
Yeah,
You know, so that way, let's say if you eating ribs, you know, it'd go from ear to ear while you eating it.
Especially if
yeah.
it's a good homemade sauce.
Oh God, yes. Before I made some Jack Daniel's sauce one time, the first time. Hell, I didn't know you were supposed to cook the Jack Daniels. Everybody had a good time.
Yeah, like Grace was talking about with the pets. A lot of times the pets don't like it at all. Mine, they care less. I
Well,
d-
what gets me is, and I didn't know this. I swear I didn't. And I found this out by accident. I had an uncle who was PTSD, and all you had to do was set off a firecracker. He went berserk.
yeah, I
You know,
was uh, like that for probably 8, 9 years after something had happened to me when I lived in California. And anytime backfire or anything, it would it would freak me out
Mm.
yeah.
big time.
Now, I
Because as soon as you hear it, you flash back to when that thing happened.
Yep.
well now I know my son is not watching, so or his wife now, so I can talk and probably not get in trouble. But when my son was married the first time, I come up behind him and I knew who it was and everything. And I was in a 71 Ford pickup truck. You know, you could cut it off and cut it back on, it would backfire.
Oh,
Well, we was coming up on a underpass and I waited about the right time and I got just about beside of him. I cut it off and cut it back on. She took a coffee bath that night. My son was laughing his ass off.
I think one of my fondest memories of the 4th of July was a couple years we went up to Stone Mountain, and I guess they still have it, but it used to be on the 4th of July. They'd have a big fireworks show, and then they'd have a laser show on the side of the mountain.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was a blast.
Now, I've heard the same thing. A friend of mine went down there years ago and he tried to get me to go. He said, that is something really worth seeing.
Oh, it was a treat.
that's like that the new. I'm assuming it's lasers or they have some drones up there flying or something. Because I don't see how the fireworks move and stuff. But the all of a sudden you see a bottle light up, and you can see the liquid inside of it, and it starts tipping, and then all of a sudden a glass shows up, and then you see this liquid come out of the bottle into the glass, and this is all in the sky, and everybody's filming it and whatnot. I'm not sure how they do that. Like I said, it's probably lasers, but
They have the drone shows. We
Yeah.
have an event here. I think it's for Memorial Day. It's called the Thunder over Evans, and it's a big salute to the troops. They have a fireworks show, but as the fireworks is going on, they have the drones up there, and they're flying around, and I think that the smoke in the air helps with the lights or something like that. But it's a pretty cool experience.
Yeah.
Well, the bad thing about it is, unless it's in walking distance, we can't go because my eyesight at nighttime just ain't what it used to be, and the wife's is worse than mine. And we don't have no money to stay at a motel, where we normally go.
Yeah.
But we years ago, we went on vacation down at Myrtle Beach on the 4th. And I got to admit, that was some of the best fireworks display I think I've ever seen, even to date. Me and the wife and the youngest, we just sat there on the beach watching. And I think it was about an hour and a half, 2 hours is how long they last.
That was a good show.
Yeah, it was. It was excellent.
Well, I would say the best fireworks, and it probably sounds cheesy and whatnot, but one of the best fireworks that I was a part of, I'll put it that way, was when my wife was still here, we went to the lake, and we rented a pontoon boat, and we stayed on the pontoon boat until we couldn't stand it on anymore, and we camped on the beach. And I had probably $200 worth of fireworks, and we stayed there on a little island and shot the fireworks off. And just that $200 fireworks, and the kids enjoyed it, and
that was a lot then.
We camped out and had a cookout and the whole 9 yards right there. And I've seen I've been to New York City on the 4th. I've been LA, some of the biggest fireworks there is, and still that little $200 worth of fireworks was still probably my number one fireworks.
I'll tell you another place, a couple of places that's got them. Another one is at Carowinds, and you can go to south of the border up on 95. Man, you can buy fireworks left and right, but be careful crossing the state line.
Oh, you can buy them in Ohio, but you can't set them off.
Well, what the hell is the damn point of selling them? That's almost like
you have to sign a thing saying that you're not going to set them off in the state of Ohio. Okay, I'm not going to set them off in the state of Ohio.
Oh, it's still illegal to set them off there?
Oh, you get in big trouble if you set them off normally. But in the city right now, they put a notice out not to call the police about fireworks. Unless somebody's house is burning down, they don't want to hear about somebody setting off fireworks.
Yeah.
That's almost.
We know it's against the law, but
they're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
That's almost as bad as going into a store, buying a peace pipe and not being able to smoke it.
Yeah.
And y'all know what I mean by a peace pipe.
Groovy, brother, groovy.
Exactly.
But that's I forget what year it changed, but it was years ago. You couldn't buy or sell fireworks in Georgia, but you go right across the river, 15 minutes into Carolina, they got every fireworks stand you could think of. So everybody would take the Georgia money and go spend it in Carolina. Well, Georgia said, "Man, we're losing out on too much money." So they made it legal. And it meant, I guess the businesses, they knew about it ahead of time, because as soon as they passed it, within months, you just seen fireworks stands getting built everywhere.
Yeah.
Share.
Well, now that's what's going on with recreational smoke. I'll put it like that. You
Yeah.
know, everybody's crossing the state line and spending, oh hell, hundreds of thousands of dollars in their states. But our governor is too damn dumb. Well, I'm not going to say dumb, okay? But he's not allowing it here.
I got you. Wow,
Well,
43 years.
we got a request to wish a happy 43rd anniversary to hubby Jeff, and I take it Shared Homestead.
Wow, that is a blessing.
That was in
43 years.
February. Yeah, 43 years last February.
I haven't even been on the earth 43 years. That is a blessing.
Yeah, trust me. There was a lot of work involved in that too.
But that's worth anything worth having, you know.
Oh yeah, makes
Well,
it worth something.
you know, I've said it before. You know, we kind of people like Bushcraft, myself. You know, we was raised up in a time when something broke, you didn't throw it away. You kind of fixed it.
Exactly.
You know.
Well,
nowadays it's more convenient just to throw it away and go buy the newest, hottest thing.
well, not
Yeah.
only that, it's this, and I'm going to call it stupid because, and I don't like the word stupid, but when kids go play soccer now, everybody gets a trophy, no matter if I don't see the point in it as, oh, we want to make everybody equal, but what's the drive? What's the purpose of doing it and working for a goal? That's the purpose of going into sports. You learn these things, and now they made it to where it's just, oh, all I have to do is show up, you know, and you get a trophy.
Well, see, I kind of agree with what you say in Bushcraft, but it also tells me, you know, if you didn't come in the first three, I'm gonna put it like that, you know, you worked your tail off until you become one of the first three.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, a wise man named Ricky Bobby once said, "If you ain't first, you're last."
Yeah. One time I pulled up waiting for my kids to get off of football practice, and I seen my son, you know, doing the little jog instead of running like everybody else was supposed to do. And I got on to him. I says, it was your choice to join football. I said, that choice meant that you're going to put 100% in that. Yep. Always, just not whenever the coach is looking at you or something. You put in that 100%. That way, you know you did your best, no matter how bad the team is or how good the team is or whatever. And after that, he did what I said, and he ended up dressing for varsity because he put in the effort, even though there were starters and really good football players for the varsity, he ended up dressing, which was a big deal. Well, I guess it still is a big deal. And he actually got to go on and play. It was toward the end of the game and everything, but he still got to go in. He got tackles and whatnot, and that made him on the books for that year. So he got his letters and all that stuff.
Mm.
Okay.
Well, now, I think what gets me, and I saw it in, what was it, football a couple of years ago, where they kept benching a player and everything. And then I want to say he was a quarterback. Don't quote me on this. But when he finally went in to play, he was better than the original quarterback that he replaced. And from that point on, I think for quite a few games, he was the starting quarterback for that team. You know.
Yeah, when my daughter played football, there were certain boys on there that didn't want to tackle her or her to play quarterback. So they kept saying no, or they would go up and barely touch her and stuff like that. And the quarterback or the coach came over, started screaming and hollering at him, "What the hell's your problem?" And they're saying she's a girl. No, she's not a girl. She is a football player. And you're going to treat her as a football player. And after that, they started tackling her, which is what she wanted. She didn't want to be treated like somebody different.
Well, I got to hand it to her. I really do. Because ain't too many guys gonna tackle a female hard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we played against well, not we, but them. They played in she went to go tackle this guy that was, and this was fifth grade, and this kid was over 220 pounds and 6'4", and she got in his way, and she made the major mistake of standing up to tackle instead of dropping down and putting the shoulder in, and she got plastered. Busted the guard off the front of her helmet. Her lip was bloody. She got back up there. They popped the, because it was sixth grade or fifth and sixth grade football, so they had plastic little snap-on guards. And she got back up the next time she went up there, and she tackled the right way, and she brought him down.
Well, it don't take too many mistakes.
Oh yeah,
They're the best teachers.
yeah.
Yeah. They are hard teachers, but they the best.
Yeah, that's when I told my kids, I didn't tell them, force them into sports or anything. I said, if you're going to do it, I don't care what it is. If you're going to sign up for something, you're going to put 100% in, and you're going to finish it, unless there's something shouldn't be happening. And they all did. I had two boys that played football, and they played football, basketball, wrestling. One played baseball, track also. One played track. And then I had two girls that one was in basketball and volleyball in track. Well, they both were actually. My youngest daughter was in soccer, and she was really good at kicking the ball, but unfortunately, sometimes she kicked the other balls.
I feel sorry for her husband.
Whenever she started coming down the field, the boys would cover up because they got hit a few times. Even her teammates. It was a sight.
I think the sport I liked the best was baseball back in the day, you know. And I have played a little basketball, and I'm sorry. Yeah, I couldn't. I mean, no, I didn't like it.
My favorite was football. Oh, I love football.
Well, now, my doctor wouldn't let me play football, but he did make a statement saying I could play football with the neighborhood kids. And I'm going to tell you, playing football with the neighborhood kids is rougher than playing for school or something like that.
I don't know.
Now, what we played was, okay, no pads, no helmets, no nothing.
Oh, yeah.
And it was whoever had the ball, that's who everybody went for.
Yeah, I know the game.
Yeah, I played basketball and football in school, but still to this day, I don't think there's no bigger rush than to step out on the field on Friday night, you know. Still to this day.
I was really small.
Hello, Bigfoot.
And whenever I was against somebody really big, I would run because I was faster than anybody, but I would run as fast as I could, and I would launch myself in the air, and then hit them
like a torpedo.
Yep. And oh man, that feeling because I used to say when you tackle somebody, there's a tackle, and there's like a tackle that you hit them so hard their mom aches.
Yeah.
There's a difference in the tackle. I said once you get that tackle, you'll know it. And my son kept tackling. He said, "Is that it? Is that it?" And I said, "No, not yet." And he finally got one, and he's jumping up and down out there. Woo! And I said,
yeah,
that's
you know.
it. Oh yeah, I couldn't gain weight when I was in school or anything. It wasn't until after I had kids and I started lifting weights and whatnot, and actually learning things like protein.
Yeah, you got to feed your muscles.
Mm-hmm. And then my body gave out. Too many years of abusing it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I keep telling my kids, I say, don't wear your body out. That way you have it for when you get older.
Yep.
Yeah, my daddy used to tell me that. Did I listen?
No, I didn't.
I didn't either.
I did the stupidest stuff when I was a kid. I still to this day, I'm like amazed that I made it this far. Some of the stuff, you know, riding a motorcycle at 280 miles an hour down the road.
Whew,
Yeah,
imagine.
I had a 500 Kawasaki. It was made for racing,
Mm.
and I could barely hang on to that thing. And I'm going down the road, and I noticed that 265. The speedometer was pegged, and then I got pulled over. So we had you at 280. Said, that thing's broke. They don't go up that high. Oh yeah, they do.
Well, when
I
you're
had
a teenager, or in high school, you think you know it all and you feel invincible.
Oh yeah.
Well, I got stopped one time and the cop come up to me and said, "You know how fast you was going?" I looked at him. I said, "Well, if you don't know, then why'd you stop me?" I got a ticket. I'm gonna tell you, I had a smart ass mouth worse now than worse then than what I got now. I'm surprised I've never been in jail.
And Schiff, that was without a helmet, and I actually had shorts on too. Tank
Well,
top.
hell, that damn fast, it wasn't gonna make no difference anyway.
I know.
They've been picking you up in
The
a
worst
gator bag.
thing you can see whenever you're going fast is I've seen people go so fast and they get nervous, and then you get this little shake, and all of a
Yep.
sudden the bike goes like this, and it's like
It's over.
it's over because you can't control it after that. You get that little wiggle thing. I've
Mm.
seen that, and I'm like, oh yeah, I wouldn't do that now though. I'd be scared to death.
Shoot, yeah.
In a Chevelle, 115. That's cruising. I mean, I had the Crown Vic I was clocked doing 140.
That's probably about the fastest I've ever been in a car, about 140, 150, but I wasn't driving. I was in my buddy Tony. We was coming back from Statesboro. I had done fell asleep and woke up, man. I didn't know how fast we was going. It just felt like we was just zooming.
Well, I will tell you this. The rumble strips on the side of the road, after a certain speed, you can't hear them.
I asked my mom, I said, what are those things in the road right there? Why do they make them why do they make that noise? She said, that's the drunk bumps.
Yeah. That's to keep you awake.
Mm-hmm. She said, that's for them people that drink and they fall asleep and they hear it.
Oh,
So, okay, that makes sense.
Them things saved my ass one night. I'll put it to you like that. I was coming back from New York, and they had no sleep. Not till Thursday night, and they put me going to New York about 10 o'clock Friday night. Excuse me. I got up there about 10 o'clock and coming back, I kind of fell asleep, and it had the dividers, the concrete dividers up.
Mm-hmm.
And I hit the rumble strips and woke up just in time.
Mm.
My ass stayed awake for a good while after that, though.
Oh yeah. You hear that? You got to go clean your britches out.
It wasn't the hearing that; it was the opening up my eyes and seeing what I was fixing to happen. You know, I mean, damn.
Yeah, I got. I was driving so fast that I seen him turn his lights on, and by the time I slowed down, I pulled over and waited for him. Had my license and insurance or registration. There was no insurance back then, but had it sitting there waiting, and he says, "Oh, you're already waiting for me." So yeah, I kind of figured, and I made all kinds of money back then, so it was no biggie, and that it was over $300 fine for that,
Shit,
minus the 12 cents that they didn't add on, that they added on later.
shit, I don't think I got my first real job until after I got married. I spent the biggest part of my time in pool halls back then. That's how I made my money.
I love shooting pool.
Yeah. And you can't hardly go nowhere now and find a pool table.
It's probably $5 a game.
If you can find a pool table, I would love to. Well, I'd love to shoot some pool after I learned which end to stick to hold again.
Well, you know, you get your 2 quarters and you stick them under the bumper for next.
Yeah.
Do they even? I haven't been in a bar for a good while, so I don't know if any even have pool tables anymore.
We got here in the area. It used to be like in the 70s, 80s, and the early 90s. They used to have big pool tournaments down here in Augusta. There's still a lot of big pool. There's still a lot of big pool, not bars, but places to shoot pool around here still. There's one place, the Rack and Grill. There's 3 of them in the area, and every first Saturday of every month they have a big 9-ball tournament, and it's been world championship players come in there. Shane Van Boning, I don't know if y'all ever heard of him.
Sounds familiar.
He's from like South Dakota, I think. Earl Strickland, he came down here a couple times.
He sounds familiar though.
Who are the 2 top female pool sharks? Or pool sharks now.
It's a
now I couldn't
Asian
tell you.
Girl.
Michelle Lee, yeah, she was the top for the longest. She had some type of sickness and she couldn't play for a while. I had never followed that story up. But her and I can't think of the other lady's name. I couldn't tell you now.
Well, now, I do remember turning TV on, and for the first time, I saw a woman up there, and I said, "Oh hell, this has got to be interesting." I sat back and watched. Man, she was busting them left and right up in there.
Oh yeah,
that woman was awesome. But I think who one of my heroes was either Moscone or Fats. One of them 2.
Both of them were legends. Moscone, he was so big. They have the big tournament every year, the Moscone Cup, America versus Europe.
Yeah. Now, who was it? Jackie Gleason that played Willie Moscone? I can't think of the name of the movie now.
What was it? The color of money?
It may have been.
Well, the one before the one that was based off of.
The one you're talking about, it was in black and white.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know that, man. That's a good movie. I can't think of it.
Well, come to find out, Jackie Gleason done all of his pole shooting.
Oh, he was good.
Oh yeah, he was
awesome.
Yeah. Minnesota Fats.
Fats. Yeah.
Who played him? Who played the other one? I can see his name. I can see his face, but I can't remember his name. Blue Eyes, Paul Newman.
Yep,
No,
Paul Newman.
was it Paul Newman?
I think, yeah.
I just got invited to go to Maine. They got pool tables. We the type of bar that I used to, the Hustler. That
Yeah,
was the name
that's
of
it.
it. That's
Yep,
what
yeah.
John said. The type of bars I used to love to go into, within 5 minutes after walking in the door, there was chairs flying, bodies being flown and everything. That was my type of bar back in 1960. Paul Newman and Jackie Gleason. Yeah. And for y'all who has never seen that movie, watch it. It's pretty
If you
interesting.
can find it, yeah,
Well, that's true too.
yeah,
That and The Color of Money is hard to find to watch.
yeah.
Yeah.
I want. We were talking. I don't know what we got on the subject about, but Crossroads.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was me and Jeff were talking about it. I think they're going to charge you $5.99 for that. And I was like, dang, I'll wait till it comes on for free.
Yeah. I've looked up some of the randomest movies and go to find out that you got to pay for it. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, my wife, she loves that fried green tomatoes movie.
I like that movie.
You got to pay for it now.
What?
Yeah.
I got it on DVD.
We do too, but we don't have a DVD player hooked up.
I got you.
You know. But you know, it was a totally different world back in than what it is nowadays.
Oh yeah.
You know, hell, 50 cents would buy you a bottle of pop and a nab. Now it takes about $3 or $4 for the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching something and say, well, when we were kids, we didn't need no sissy juice box and Little Debbie to survive the day. We were lucky we got the drink out of the water hose.
Yeah.
Really? And mind y'all, if any of y'all ever do decide to get brave and drink out of the water hose, make damn sure you let that water run through the hose for about a couple of minutes first. We shit. God, I can't even remember what grade I was in, but I ran around with a couple of black boys, you know, back in the day, and country. The hell, we all got on our bicycles and we decided to just haul ass that day. And on the way back, hell, we didn't have no money to buy a drink or nothing like that. They didn't have bottled water back then.
Ping pong was fun.
Yeah, it was. And I saw a house over there that had a hose pipe, and I said, shit with it. I walked over there, laid the bike down in the yard, turned the hose pipe on, drinking the water, and the guy come out of the house. What are you doing? I told him, I said, I'm thirsty and I'm drinking water. He said, you go right ahead. You know, back then you could do stuff like that. Now, don't get caught walking in somebody else's yard.
Oh no.
No. Oh man, it's crazy.
You know. Lily G, Roadhouse was kind of calm. Okay, I'll put it like that.
The movie?
Lily G said Roadhouse like.
Oh, okay. I guess when you said that was the type of bar you used to like to go into.
Yeah. Hell, I remember when candy was 1 and 2 cents.
Oh, you
And
remember them
when it
little?
busted up to 5 cents, you griped about that.
Remember the gumball machine was for a penny?
Oh, I remember this right here. I remember going into a store playing poker with gumballs. You get 5 for a nickel, and that's how we play poker. You got, let's say, 3 and 2, that's a full house. If you got 2 of the same color, that was a pair, you know. And we'd put the money on the counter, and the man would hold it, and whoever won, that's who got the money.
Hmm.
And the speckled gumballs was a wild ball.
And nowadays, you won't even hardly see a gumball machine.
About it.
They actually they had the ones for 50 cents at this one store, but they were all taken out because of the thing.
Damn.
Wow.
Well, now I saw something. Oh hell!
They haven't been brought back yet either.
About 2 or 3 weeks ago, I wish I took a picture of it. I saw a payphone. Somebody on the phone with them with somebody.
Mm.
I ain't seen it in years.
We have a payphone. There's nothing hooked up to it, but it's there.
Well, be truthful, I don't know if the guy was talking to somebody or not. He could have been a crackhead thinking he was talking to somebody, but he had the phone up to his ear and his mouth was moving.
Oops, I still got the guess from last week's thing coming up on there.
Now that you mention it, there's a mom and pop store, gas station not too far from here, and I stop there from time to time. But they still got, and of course it doesn't work, but it's a fully intact payphone. And I've been thinking for the longest, I'm gonna ask this guy, can I just have it? I'll dismantle it and take it all down. What would he charge me? I like to have it for a souvenir to put. I got one, but it ain't the whole case, and it's just a phone,
Yeah.
But you mentioned that. Next time I go down there, I'm gonna ask him.
Well, I can't tell you what I'm thinking, but you can probably guess it.
We don't want to know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I remember when Walmart used to have the pop machines out front where you get the quarter pops.
Oh, okay.
And that wasn't too long ago. And then after the thing, they got rid of all pop machines too.
Do you remember the
doesn't make sense?
The soda pop machines that had the 10-ounce glass bottles in that you paid a dime for?
Yeah.
I'd love to lay my hands.
You open the little skinny door and pull them out.
Yeah. I'd love to lay my hands on one.
And they were so cold. Oh
yeah.
Really cold. I don't know what they did in that thing. They had the Arctic in there or something, but
they banned all those materials.
Yeah, they did. Well,
it was too good.
And they had the little bottle opener on the side where you.
Yeah. Do you remember the chest type coolers they had when you'd reach in there and grab a pop and open it up? You could see the ice coming up in it.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna tell you.
You don't see that stuff anymore.
Well,
you can still find the glass bottle, but that stuff doesn't taste the same as it did.
No, hell no.
And it's I was listening to he was in here earlier, the paranormal guy, and he was talking about in the 70s when they had the tariffs, and that's when they switched from sugar to the corn syrup for sweetener. And he said after that's when pop
changed.
just wasn't the same. And it's we're the only country that has pop that's made out of corn syrup. Everywhere else is still sugar.
Well, now I remember when Coca-Cola and Pepsi changed their ingredients, and it tasted so bad that they went back to they said they went back to the original, but it still didn't taste the same.
Oh no. Yeah.
And talking about gumball machines, hell, I got two. I got two of them right now.
Who remembers the Pepsi challenge? And did you ever see it in person?
I never heard of it.
I've heard the name, but I can't remember what it was.
You don't remember the Pepsi challenge where they'd set up in a mall and they'd pour out two. One was a Coke and one was a Pepsi, and you would taste them.
Oh, the taste test.
Yeah, and that's where they came up with the Pepsi challenge. Everybody picked Pepsi over Coca-Cola. I actually seen it at the mall in Phoenix, because I would go by there and say, I want to test it out, and I'd get free pop.
Well, now, the only challenge I had was when I walk into a restaurant and I'd say I want a Pepsi, and they would give me a Coca-Cola. I'll take a sip of it and hand it back to them and say, this ain't a Pepsi, it's a Coke. You know, and they said, the waitresses even said, I don't see how you can taste the difference in it. I said, well, which one is it? It's the Coke. All right, you've met one. And do y'all remember the world's fastest soft drink was Mellow Yellow when it first come out?
Fastest.
It was called the fastest soft drink. And as when Mellow Yellow first come out, I don't even think you was born then, Watt. But
it was on a race car, wasn't it?
Yeah, if you won first place, you won that race car. I got beat out of it by 1/1000th of a second.
I remember as a kid, we used to go up to the World. If we go up to Atlanta, we go up to the World of Coke. The building that it was in originally, it's not there anymore. They tore it down and moved it to the other side. But I think you could go up there and taste sodas from all around the world. But there was this one from, I don't remember if it was from Europe or England. I can't remember the name, but it was the awfulest tasting soda. But they said wherever it was based out of, that's one of their biggest sellers. They love it. They can't get enough of it.
And that's why you don't see it here.
Oh, and since you brought up England, a bit of trivia, or I guess kind of trivia. Do you know there's a celebration, or there's an independence from Great Britain every week of the year from somewhere in the world? That's how
Wow.
they ruled, that there's an independence from every week. There's an independence from somewhere, you know.
That's a very interesting fact.
Yeah.
52 independences a year.
Well, now, people in chats talking about pop or drinks and everything. How many know what I'm talking about when I say cheer wine? Now, I know you do, Bushcraft.
Yeah, they still have it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It don't taste the same, though.
Every time I go to the grocery store.
I had one the other day, and it was like,
that's because it's getting out of a plastic bottle. Try to get one out of a glass bottle.
It was in a glass bottle. It was.
Was it?
And it said it was made out of cane sugar too, but it just didn't taste the same.
Well, I don't know if it's our taste buds that has changed. I don't think. Damn, that. I can't stand that drink.
Got some old tab bottles and cans.
The same like that.
I seen somebody spilt a bottle of it on the hood of their car because for some reason it tipped and ran down, and it ate the paint the finish off the paint where it went down.
Damn, that's like Coca-Cola.
Not instantly, but from setting in the sun, it just they wiped it off, and it was just a streak of flat paint on there.
I hate to say it, but I think that'd be most of them these days. I've seen some of the experiments. They show what they put in them and what's left, and this would just blow your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Right.
Coca-Cola is the worst.
I think Pepsi is now.
Hey,
I mean, none of it's
Really?
any good.
Yeah, none of it's any good. Yeah, for sure.
I don't think I've drunk a on the house. And I know it's one of the worst drinks you can drink, but I like Mountain Dews.
Oh, I drink so much Mountain Dew. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's definitely one of
I
the most
used to
popular
take
ones.
the film off of my windshield with Coca-Cola. Yeah.
Oh, Dr. Pepper. There you go.
Oh my goodness. You ever drink a Dr. Pepper fast? I guarantee you're going to belch. And you're going to taste it and smell it.
I think I remember Jolt.
Oh, no.
I might be thinking of Vault.
Not the newer stuff, the 80s version.
Oh, no.
Because it's against the law to have the 80 version now.
I love it.
Is either twice the sugar or twice the caffeine and something like that. I forget what it was.
Sugar.
But you drink that. Woo! That was an energy drink and a half back in the day.
The best thing a person can do to get motivated, and I'll put it like that, is to drink
Jeff,
in a BC powder.
Illegal.
No, it's not illegal. A Mountain Dew and a BC powder. That'll get you wired.
Oh, I used to love RC.
Yeah,
because I like that better than, and I never liked any of the Coke or Pepsi, but I liked RC, especially because I always get a bag of peanuts with it and put the peanuts in there.
You know, after me and you got to talking about RC colas, I went out and I got one, and I took a drink. And the one I got seemed like it had twice the carbonation in it than the ones that I grew up with. No, Excedrin don't do nothing. Try your BC powder.
Yeah.
Now, I always done peanuts and Pepsi or peanuts and Coca-Cola.
Well, there was the thing because Laverne and Shirley, Pepsi and milk.
Milk and Pepsi.
It wasn't too bad. Believe it or not, I've tried it. Of course, that was old milk too. It wasn't none of this.
Well, I imagine if you like a float, I guess it'd be about the same thing.
Yeah. Because
never really been a fan of the floats, ice cream and soda.
I had to try it. So I tried it one day and it was like, oh, this ain't too bad. It's nothing I would go drink normally.
Yeah.
But it was different.
What I think out of all the drinks that I liked is when I went to the ice cream shop and I got a cherry Coke. And I mean, it was a real Coca-Cola and they put cherry juice in it with a cherry. And that was good.
What is this? You need to show an ID for Mountain Dew now over here.
Where's this at?
He's in England area.
You've got to be kidding.
No, they don't. And the big, and I'm sure he'll tell us, but they don't sell the big things. They only sell small at the fast food places.
They know. Damn.
They only have small drinks. They don't have the big, larges or anything.
You better eat in so you can get refills. If you can do that.
I never thought that would happen. But then again, I don't live overseas either.
Is there a certain age you have to be?
I guess.
Hmm.
It never used to be that way as well. Now I gotta stick with the off-brand stuff. Well, I know, like, our chicken is outlawed over there because what we do to our chicken is not healthy, so they don't have it over there. Because sorry to say this, but we spray our chicken down before it goes to the store. We spray it down with bleach.
That's why I like 100% yard bird. You don't go to the store and get them.
Yeah, there's a lot of that stuff that's not allowed over there.
It's interesting. I think I have a glass of water now.
Yeah, that's what I got. Water. I probably drink too much water.
Shit, I tell you what. Yes, I said it. I'll drink my tea.
Oh, that's always my good backup. I got some in there brewing. Be ready in about an hour.
I miss it, but I can't. And I'll drink, my herbal stuff, but I used to
smoke my herbal stuff.
But I don't do the decaffeinated stuff. I'm like, what's the purpose of drinking it?
I've been doing some studies and stuff on that and tea, and I think I'm gonna start getting back into it. As far as a better tea, it's got a lot of good properties. I remember one time there's a big gated community. It's $1 million. Tiger Woods has got a house in there. It's called Westlake. We got called to this guy's house, and he wanted every ceiling fan in the house changed out. But at first, he thought that we could just service them and stop them from squeaking. He said, "Can you oil them or do this and do that?" I said, "No, we're electricians." I said, "No." So we ended up having to change out 8 or 9 ceiling fans and put in a couple under the counter lights for them. It was all day projects. We got there that morning. He said, "Would y'all like some coffee or some tea?" He said, "I'm about to make some tea." It was an Indian guy. I said, "Well," they said, "Sure, if you're going to make some tea, I'll try it." So I thought he was just going to get a bag out, Shoot, no, he busted out the herbs. He had his pestle and mortar. He had the whole shebang.
Oh, wow.
And I think it was chai tea.
Oh, chai.
And man, I'm not really a hot tea drinker, but that was still, to this day, that was probably the best cup of tea I've ever had. I don't know what all was in it, but it was awesome.
Yeah. Some of those are really good for you too.
Oh, about 5 minutes later, dude, I had the most instant boost of energy, dude. I was like, boom, boom, boom. But it was good though,
Yeah, I bet he would be like having that sweet tea. The British guys, when they first tried sweet tea.
Lord have mercy.
Oh, it's a big shock, I imagine.
Oh,
for people who
I like that.
No more Mountain Dew.
For people who has never drunk Southern sweet tea, you better be setting your tail down when you take that first swallow, because it's going to knock you on your tail, as sweet as it is.
I just hate weak tea. You know, I don't want to be able to see
Oh
through it.
yeah.
I have the tea bag I use makes a gallon. Okay.
Well, are you talking about the tea or the sugar end of it?
The sugar in the tea.
Well, I meant what life when he said
Oh,
he
I
doesn't
mean,
like
the tea factor. You know, like some people will
where,
brew tea and you can
where
read the
you see
newspaper through it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to read the newspaper through it.
Yeah.
Oh, I guarantee you, you will not read newspaper through mine. And there has been quite a few times I've let my tea sit overnight in the pot before I put it in the pitcher.
See, well, how do you make your sun tea? You guys make sun tea, I'm assuming down there. They used to when I was down there.
I remember my mom used to do it sometimes. I've never done it myself. No,
I ain't done that in a long time.
I will.
mean,
16 in a gallon glass jar. Sit it out in the sun, and time it's ready to come in, you can't see through it at all.
Now, when I made it, I used 8 tea bags. Okay.
Dang, only 8?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't weak. Don't get me wrong. You know, it wasn't weak, and it had a good taste to it. Matter of fact, they had a better taste to it than boiling it.
Now, what kind of tea do you use?
Then I was using Lipton.
What kind of tea is it though?
Hell, just regular tea bags. It ain't no spice tea or nothing like that, you know.
Like green tea, black tea.
No, black tea.
Yeah, it's usually it's the black. Yeah.
I wonder how hard it would be to grow tea.
Oh, Lipton is green tea. See, I always use the black.
And I'm sorry, I can't stand Louisiana tea, but that's me. And I know there's a bunch of people who prefer Louisiana over Lipton. You know.
Yeah. It's one of them things which mostly kind of what you grew up with, you know, what your mama used or what your grandma used, you know.
Exactly. But I'm gonna be straight up. I use Walmart brand tea. And to me, it tastes better than Lipton or Louisiana.
Well, I think that's black tea, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here, let's see, Walmart.
But like I said, I get the bags. You use 1 to a gallon.
Yeah, it's Great Value black tea bags.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah! I gotta have lemon with my tea. Straight up.
That's odd. They're not shit. Oh, there it is.
8 tea bags for 2 quarts. Damn, that tea would stand up on his own without the pitcher.
No, that's right. That's Jello.
See, I used to use 16 for a gallon.
You really did like your strong then, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
Okay. See,
Hey,
now.
Eric.
Well, gallon I usually use about 7 or 8.
Well, now coming up, Mama always put 10 to hers, you know, for a gallon. And I don't know. To me, it's got a little bit better flavor to it. It ain't what you call real strong, and it ain't weak either. Now, Jenny at Kroger, at blueberry, raspberry tea, stuff like that, I love the heck out of that stuff. I'll drink that in a heartbeat. 1 tea bag to a cup, yeah, and put some honey in there. Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about making some tea, some sun tea, because I already have the big. They used to be pickle jars, but
Yeah,
They still work. They still work to make tea in there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just make sure you got the top.
Oh, it's got top.
Yeah. You don't want bugs flying in it. That's extra protein.
I wouldn't be. I'm in Ohio. I wouldn't worry too much about the bugs. I'd be worried more about the other stuff that's will make its way in there.
Well, down here, even though you got a glass without a top on it, you still subject to have a bug in it.
Well, the thing is, with everything that's happened, I haven't sprayed my garden.
Right.
I don't have any bugs.
Really? The smoke in the air is keeping them away from up there.
Well, that's not the only thing we've had.
Well, I was trying to be nice.
February and now this. Well, that part's gone. We're in the 50. The air quality's in the 50s now. So,
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. From what I've heard, the wind has changed. That's the reason y'all not getting the smoke.
who
You know?
knows?
Okay.
Like I said, there was, and I'm surprised nobody's talked about this because it wasn't 6-8 months ago that the White House was talking about blocking the sun so it would cool down global warming. And they were trying to think of ways to do it because, like I said, the where they came up with this idea is when a certain volcano, I can't remember which one it was, but erupted and it had ash all over the place, and the temperature cooled down 2% all around the world. And they said, well, that's great. We should be able to do that. And
that's for you, Bushcraft.
Next thing, we got these big smoke things coming, and I know California, Oregon, they get this is every year, but again, there's a difference between on the east side of the United States against the west side. You guys, they don't have all this humidity out there. There's dry heat over there. You mix humidity with that, and that's where you get that formaldehyde and all that stuff in the air. Because I went and read up all about it. It's when the smoke goes up and mixes with the moisture and the clouds.
It's a perfect storm.
The UV, which is radiation, does its thing to the cloud and turns it into formaldehyde, which is toxic. It's bad.
Happy 4th, Joe. Sandy M stated the government ain't thinking straight. No sun equals no life. She's right.
Oh yeah.
Remember that movie Snowpiercer?
It's like, it's everything sounds like a good idea until it's like, whoops.
Till it's not.
Whoops means people die sometimes.
Yeah, but our government don't care about that.
Oh no. And it's, I hate to say it, but it's Earth. The Earth is going to do its thing. No matter what we do up here, it's going to fix itself one way or the other because it did it before.
But you've got to admit to this right here. Our Earth has been so abused in the last, couple thousand years. It ain't funny.
I think it would be a good time to mention that it's also American Redneck Day.
Oh, hell, really?
Yep.
You would say this as the sun's going down, wouldn't you?
Well, by now you should already had a redneck.
Well, no, by now you should have had that bonfire going.
Yeah, I've seen them big hailstorms with softballs falling down.
Where was it last week? They was having hail the size of CDs or DVDs.
As long as they're flat.
Yeah, but coming down, they'll slice you wide open.
That'd be a flying saucer.
Yeah.
Like Predator.
No kidding.
Yeah, I've seen it go through. And this was in Phoenix when it happened. Holes in the roofs and stuff. We'd had to go up there and patch those up.
We was living in Lexington at the time, and we was down on the baseball field, playing baseball. And the only reason we stopped is because lightning come up, and as we was going home, it started hailing. Now here I am, about 2 blocks away from the house, and it's starting to hail. I found a damn pickup truck and crawled up underneath it until it was over with. And when I come out, it looked like it was snow all over the ground. How bad it was.
I experienced hail one time. That was pretty wild.
Well, I think last year we had it twice, 3 times. Not big chunks or anything. Quarter size, 50-cent piece.
Well, I don't care what size it is. It hits you in the head, it's going to hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Formaldehyde is not the only thing they put in nail polish or makeup. They also put... Hold on.
Oh, the trivia night. Yeah, I was thinking about it again Friday. We'll see how things go by then.
Oh yeah, I think that's always a hit.
Yeah. What would you rather?
You was talking about your garden earlier with the bugs, and I hadn't really had any problem with any pests up till the last couple of weeks. I had the slug problem, but I think I got it pretty much licked.
Hello, AB. Now, I heard, believe it or not, matter of fact, I think Lake Ferry was one talking about it. Put Bud Light in a cup out there, and all the slugs would go to it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But the bad thing about it is, do you want to be in the store buying a 6-pack or a can of Bud Light nowadays?
Yeah.
Man, I walked past one of those displays the other day, and it had if you buy this, you get a cash money. What do they call it when you buy something?
Mail-in rebate.
Yeah, it had a mail-in rebate. I took a picture of it. I should send it to you.
Yeah, well, they have it half off at Walmart over here.
That's where I was at, I believe.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Every place that sells Bud Light, they ain't even a dent in it around here, and they're starting to pick it up. And I read a thing that Anheuser-Busch is thinking about filing for Chapter 13 on account of this.
Hey.
No, Joe.
They make more money other places. They're not doing no chap. They're not filing for bankruptcy.
I didn't think so because they're
still making billions.
Yeah, them taking a loss and us taking a loss is totally different.
Yeah.
I thought Budweiser was their number one source, though.
Budweiser, yeah, not Bud Light. But
Okay.
Bud Light was always their second.
Okay.
They bought Corona, so they have Corona. They have a bunch of other
Do they
ones.
still make Bud Ice?
I
Yes.
don't know.
That's the only beer I'll drink if I'm going to drink a beer. Either Bud Ice or Ice House, and they may be the same thing.
Yeah, they own a bunch of different companies now.
So you'll wear a skirt as long as it's cold.
Who said that? You will not catch my fat ass in no damn skirt, period.
Well,
even around the damn house, not even a kilt. So next subject, just move the heck on. Dana B, I'm too tired to cook. Peanut butter crackers. It is.
peanut butter.
Okay. I didn't see that part where she said it is. I was freaking saying, who the hell cooks peanut butter? Only if she looks good, Agent J. And she has to be blind on top of that. But all I got to say is don't stand behind me when I take them off. You liable to get hit with something.
Oh, boy.
Hey, he brought it up.
I think it's supposed to be a full moon tonight, right?
Is
It
it?
may be one here before it's over with.
I think that's what they were saying.
You know, that pisses me off. I cannot see the moon when it rises. I got to wait till it gets high in the sky on account of the trees block my view where I'm at.
I've seen the moon every night, but last night I didn't see it for some reason. It took a different path.
That used to be my one, and this was old cars too. So my favorite place would be in the back window, the little ledge in the back window. You can't really do that nowadays, but that used to be my favorite place when we were driving because I would look up at the stars and stuff.
Yeah,
when you could actually see them.
But if you pissed your daddy off, all he had to do was tap his brakes and you in the floor.
Yeah, we didn't know what a seatbelt was back in them days. Well, a seatbelt was this.
Yeah, exactly.
If anybody knows what that means.
And you better not be bending over when that happened either.
Hey, Bubba News. How's it going?
Hello, sir. Damn, you got 100 people up in here.
Yeah.
I can't even get a fourth of that on mine.
Well, it's because we're over 8 o'clock.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. George Washington used to, on Independence Day, buy all of his soldiers rum and get them drunk on the 4th of July.
B. Charman said the full moon was actually at 7:39 this morning.
Oh, wow. I missed
Well, that might be why you didn't see it.
A damn good reason.
Yeah, it took a different path last night. It was weird.
Huh.
Maybe I took a different path. I don't know.
Joe, I'm not Scottish, so back off. Shit, I remember riding in the back seat, in the bed of Daddy's pickup truck, sitting on the fender well.
Mm-hmm. Well, even on the sides.
Yeah.
that was, and I remember because that's where the cooler set was in the back, and Dad would bang on the windows and grab me a beer, and you would grab a beer and hang off around the side and hand it to him in the window.
Or stand up, looking over the cab. So,
They frown upon that now for some reason.
Remember going to drive-in the back of a pickup truck?
Yeah, well, yeah, you had to turn around and back it in, in order to see the movie. But yeah, I remember them. I also remember going to the drive-in and station wagons too.
Oh, is Agent J, you still in here? I'm kind of curious if they have that big drive-in in Phoenix. I think it was somewhere around Grand Avenue. I think they had like eight of them there. Oh, so it's still there. Dang. I used to love that because there would be times when you would get charged per person. So we hide people in the trunk, hide people under the seats and stuff. And they would come by and check on you and see if you were pulling people out of the trunk and stuff.
Yeah, believe it or not, that happened when we was going to the drive-in. It was so much a person, and in the station wagon, it'd be about 4 or 5 in the back under a blanket or something.
Oh, it's gone. No, I used to love that place.
Wow.
Dang, that sucks.
Now, there's a couple of drive-ins here in North Carolina. Hutton's up toward.
You say that like it's a lot, but it used to be every county had a drive-in.
Yeah,
everywhere. It was a normal thing, and now I think we have one in Ohio. There might be two. The one I always go to is Strasburg, Ohio. Big Top or something like it's one of the. I think it's the second oldest in the United States.
Now I think what done in the drive-in was the VCRs. That's what done in the drive-ins.
Malls. And that malls are going out now, so
yeah, they got strip malls coming up.
You go in a mall now, and it's like it's one of the old towns in the West where there's
hollow,
empty buildings and stuff.
Carol Z, y'all got one in Concord? Well, that's 3 I know of.
Well, Carol Z is in California.
Oh, she in California?
Yeah.
Then we got a Concord.
It's a different Concord.
We got a
you gotta drive
Concord.
a long way to go to that movie theater.
Look, for y'all who love California, I give it to you. You will not catch me in California, period. North or South Cali. It ain't happening.
Yeah, I remember Blockbusters. Oh man, that was a big thing.
Oh God, yeah.
Have you been to their website lately?
No.
Website?
It says if you go to their website, it says, "Be kind. We're currently rewinding."
The way I understand it, there is not.
Oh, here it is. We are working on rewinding your movie.
Yeah. There's, to my knowledge, I think there's one Blockbuster left in existence, and it's in Oregon.
I know it's out in the Midwest somewhere. But what got me was when DVDs come out. My next door neighbor would always rewind the DVDs. And
that pretty much sums it up right there.
Yep. There it is.
How many of y'all just didn't rewind the tapes?
You got charged for that.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, we got fireworks going off here right now. Let
Hopefully
me
not
call.
in the house.
If they are, something's wrong. They not fireworks.
Remember the video stores with the dirty movies in the back room?
Oh yeah,
Now they come straight to your phone.
Oh, then they came out with the streaming the red boxes, and that killed the blockbusters and stuff. And then
Yeah,
they came out with the
Redbox.
streaming services.
yeah, and that killed all of them. I will return.
Well, he muted himself before he got the returned out.
He's rewinding.
Yeah, I always rewinded my tapes. Of course, I actually worked at a Blockbusters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But I imagine y'all had the little super spinner machine to put them on or something to rewind them.
yeah. And they you had to at least double check to make sure they rewinded. If not, then the customer said, "Well, it was halfway through the movie. We had to rewind it ourselves."
I hated that as a kid. Got ready to watch a tape or something, and one of my sisters didn't rewind it. Oh man. I just find another movie. I'd put it back on there. I'm not rewinding it. I'd pass the buck.
Oh, those things! It seems like it. It would take forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, them. And I know there are places where there's plenty of birds and stuff, but like I said, go back 10 years and there were so many birds, even in the city.
That's bigger news than most people realize.
Yeah, because if we say no birds,
That's like saying no bees.
Yeah, and it's weird how one little thing can change so much. Hey, Vester.
I know my grandma was still alive. Man, she could she awake. She had her couch set up where she sat, where she could see directly out the back sliding glass door. Man, she had 100 bird feeders out there, and any bird that flew in her yard, she could tell you what kind it was, all about it. She loved them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some of those that watch them birds, like you said, will tell you a story about the bird and what state it's from, state bird or whatever.
Yeah.
And all kinds of history on just a bird.
Yeah, I seen you put out that video, and I was doing a little research just on the impact on stuff like that. But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. And the swamp birds, that's the thing I thought would be more like, the ones in the West would be the biggest one, but the swamp 40 some percent in the last few years.
Gone? Wow. That's huge. I know we have a very big migratory bird population rise. I live right here on the Savannah River, so it's kind of marshy too. But yeah, I've noticed something too. I guess you could say maybe over the last decade, especially once you start seeing stories like this and you really start thinking about it.
Yeah.
Wow, 40%. And when is that? 40% since when?
The last few years, those
so this
years.
ain't even a decade.
Yeah. And they've done a study since the 70s, I guess. I don't know why they didn't do it before that, but this is when it started with the birds, where they track the birds.
It's always been a thing because
Yeah.
when the migratory birds, they always follow that same pattern, and it's almost kind of like the jet stream.
Yeah.
Um, it's just how they instantly know where to go and how to get there. Mm.
Yeah, I've got one that's up on my porch. Well, when I'm sitting there doing the Gen Z thing, I'll start talking and they go quack, 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 start going crazy up there. And I've got the bird feeder, and I used to have to fill that thing like twice a day, and now it's a whole week it goes without having to refill it.
Mm. Man.
And that's why you can tell there's something different going on.
When you have big shifts or big changes like that, birds are usually one of the first creatures that you see it in because
Or
of their
the
migratory
bees.
patterns, the
Yeah.
magnetic fields, or like whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Bees too.
Yeah, it was a few years ago. The I forget his name. He does all the bees, and he's a bee YouTuber. And he said that because he had a bunch of different hives, and they name each hive something different.
Mm-hmm.
And one year he didn't have. There's a little bug that goes in there, and it'll mess with the hive. A real small little, I think it's a mite. I'm not sure, but
Probably, yeah.
Bee Charming probably knows what it is that messes with they'll bring a disease in or something like that. But he didn't have anything like that. He didn't have no other hornets coming in or anything. And they're gone. All of them were gone. And that's really, really rare because the queen is where it's all at. And he went out there and all of his bees were gone. There's no sign of bodies or anything. He said he never seen that in all of his years of being a bee person, whatever they call him.
Is this recently?
Yeah, it was about probably a couple years ago.
If you remember I think it was a couple years ago, they had the whole deal about the bees. I mean, it's been a ongoing thing, but you remember a couple years ago they were talking about it a little bit more.
Yeah.
More mainstream, I guess.
Yeah. And I wasn't, other than just listening to him talk about his bees and stuff, I didn't know much about the bees or anything, but because he said, like I said, he had no signs of the mites or anything that's in there, because that's usually one of the signs.
That's scary.
And he went out there and they were all gone. There was no a bunch of bodies laying down or anything like that. They're just gone.
Oh, they completely left the hive?
Yeah.
I imagine at that point, I guess even if there was some honey left, I imagine it would probably could be tainted.
I don't know. I don't know what he did with the honey, but
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. They always stay around the queen, so the queen must have took off and they followed, or I don't know. And it wasn't just one hive, because he had like 6 hives there, and every one of them was gone. He said it's like somebody went up there with a vacuum cleaner and sucked them all out and then left.
I wonder how hard it is for them to regroup and recolonate after something like that.
I don't know. I do know, depending if it's in the area, but I've seen them move a whole hive into another hive, the box hive. Yeah. Tim at Ridge Life, he was getting ready to burn some brush to clear out his property, and he seen some bees, and he went over there and started putting the fire out, and then he gathered up all the bees and got the queen out and moved it over to his hives. And not only that, the next day he went out and did it again and found another hive in the same area.
There's a lady, I can't remember her name, but she's on YouTube, and she's like a bee lady. And a lot of her videos is people calling her that they've got bees, and she has to go out there and get them out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, like you said, once she finds that queen, she gets her in this like little clip thing and puts her in there, and then all the rest of them, I guess they just get that signal.
Yeah. And that's so weird too. How they swarm around.
What's Chris talking about?
Very interesting insect.
I don't know if it would be pheromones or just some type of instinct they have.
That's what it is.
Definitely interesting for sure. Man, you said 40-something% of the swamp birds?
Yeah. Well, it's getting that time, and I want to send everybody over to the Vineyard Chicks. I'll go ahead and drop the link because we're about 5 minutes before they start. Oh, 4 minutes actually. Hopefully we can get, and they're doing a 4th of July special too, Independence Day thing.
Okay.
So they're probably going to be, and they're doing requests too. Independence Day party. So did that just post that twice? That's interesting. Wonder why it did that. Let's try it again.
What that effect is
it
like
is posted it twice.
There we go.
But I don't know if I'm gonna have a guest this week or not. So we'll have to see. I haven't really even been looking too much. I do have people lined up as whenever they have time. But if not, we will see you. I think 101's doing, maybe going live tomorrow. If not, it'll be the next day. But then we'll be over at Jeff's.
Thursday.
Yep, Thursday. And with that, I will go ahead and hit the link one more time. Make sure you guys head on over there and tell them we sent you. And I still don't know why this is doing it twice. Oh, they're actually live already. So we'll go ahead and head on out of here. I'll leave you with a trailer.
Kids, they're growing up in basements. Online, a whole new generation. I'ma make mine, so you better go take it. Always, they need a new replacement. Decentralized, can't contain it. We're changing lives, yeah, upgrading. Call it suicide of the older generation.
What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah.